Most women spend months, even years, analyzing the final fight, the moment he packed his bags and left. But the truth? He didn't leave because of that argument. He actually left months before he ever walked out the door. And you probably didn't even notice the moment it happened. Meet Maya and Ethan. On the outside, they were the solid couple. They had been together for 6 years. They shared a dog, a mortgage, and a routine that felt like a warm blanket. Ethan was a civil engineer. Reliable, quiet, and someone who showed love through doing. Maya was a marketing director, vibrant, communicative, and someone who needed to feel the connection. For a long time, Maya thought their differences were their strength. She was the fire, he was the hearth. But lately, the hearth had gone cold. Maya felt like she was the only one rowing the boat. She scheduled the date nights. She initiated the "How was your day?" talks. She was the one constantly checking the emotional temperature of the room. Ethan, he just existed. He was there, but he wasn't present.
He's just stressed at work. If I can just make home a little more peaceful, if I can just be a little more supportive, he'll come back to me.
Maya fell into the improvement trap. She started reading books on communication. She started nicer conversations. She thought that if she could just solve the puzzle of Ethan, the reward would be the man she fell in love with. She didn't realize that every time she pushed for connection, Ethan felt like he was being critiqued. To him, her support felt like a performance review. He was failing every single day. The first real shadow fell on their 6th anniversary. Maya had planned a weekend getaway. No phones, just them. She spent weeks picking the perfect cabin. When she presented the plan to Ethan, he didn't look excited. He didn't look grateful. He looked exhausted.
That sounds great, Maya. Truly, I don't know if I have the energy to connect right now.
The word hit Maya like a physical blow. Energy to connect? Since when was loving her a chore? Ethan didn't explain. He just went back to his laptop. And in that moment, Maya felt a chilling sensation. It wasn't that he was mad. It was that he was indifferent. And indifference is the one thing a relationship cannot survive. What happens when the person you're fighting for has already surrendered? The next 3 months were a slow-motion car crash. Maya went into overdrive. She tried to be the perfect partner. She stopped bringing up her own needs. She became a yes woman, hoping that by removing all friction, Ethan would find his way back to her. But then, Maya found the search history. She wasn't looking for it. She just needed to print a document from Ethan's computer. The tabs were still open. There were no dating sites. No secret messages to other women. The searches were worse. How to know when you're done. Is it normal to feel nothing for your partner? Cost of breaking a lease early. What happened next was the breakdown of Maya's sanity. She began to realize that while she was building a future, Ethan was building an exit strategy. He wasn't stressed. He was checked out. She tried to confront him, but he used the gaslight of silence.
You're overthinking again, Maya. I'm right here, aren't I? I'm not going anywhere.
He was technically telling the truth. His body was there, but his spirit had already moved out. He was waiting for a reason to leave, a big enough fight, a catastrophic mistake, so he wouldn't have to be the bad guy. He was practicing passive abandonment. He was being so distant, so cold, and so unresponsive that he was essentially forcing Maya to be the one to end it. He wanted her to pull the trigger so he could stay the reliable, quiet guy in the eyes of their friends. The real reason didn't come out during a fight. It came out on a Tuesday afternoon when the dishwasher broke. Water was everywhere. Maya was frantic, trying to mop it up. shouting for Ethan to help. Ethan just stood in the doorway, watching her. He didn't move. He didn't grab a towel.
Help me! Why are you just standing there? Why don't you care about anything in this house anymore?
Because I don't belong in this house anymore, Maya. I haven't for a year.
The room went silent. The sound of the leaking water felt like a ticking clock.
You kept trying to fix me. You kept trying to turn me into a version of a husband that looked good in your head. Every time you told me how to be better, I felt like the man I actually am wasn't enough for you. I didn't leave because of a fight. I left because I'm tired of being your project.
Ethan didn't have another woman. He didn't have a secret life. He just wanted a life where he didn't feel like a constant disappointment. He walked out the door that afternoon with one suitcase, leaving Maya in a puddle of water and the realization that she had loved him right out of her life. Ethan didn't come back. There was no grand reconciliation. Maya spent months in the why phase. She realized that she had been in love with the potential of Ethan, not the reality of him. By constantly pushing for more, she had communicated to him that now was never good enough. Ethan moved into a small, simple apartment. He wasn't happier in the traditional sense, but he was lighter. He no longer had to live up to someone else's 5-year plan. Maya eventually found peace too. She learned that you can't force someone to value the connection you're offering. If you have to row the boat for 2 people, eventually, you're just going to go in circles until you sink. The real reason he left usually isn't about what you did at the end. It's about how he felt in the middle. Men don't leave when things get hard. They leave when they feel like they can no longer win in your eyes. When your partner becomes a project instead of a person, the clock starts ticking. True connection requires acceptance of the person standing in front of you, not the one you're trying to build. Ethan felt like a project instead of a partner. Have you ever realized that your support might actually be making your partner feel like a failure? Would you have stayed and tried to change your approach? Or was the damage already done? Let me know in the comments below.
Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Strong Marriage Secrets to stay connected and receive more insightful videos on love, marriage, and building a healthy relationship.